Hello everyone, I'm Miranda Edson, the current programming director here at Texas Student Television, and this is our first video newsletter for 2012. It's been a few months since our last one, and there's a few things going on new here at the station. Back in January, we had our general recruitment meeting, and while less people tend to show up in the spring, we had an attendance of over 200 people. We also presented a record-breaking 18 shows to new and eager volunteers who are ready to sign up and get to work here at TSTV. Our webmaster, Renke, has also designed an app for us. It's super slick and we'll be releasing it on the Android market and iOS App Store in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that, and all the shows you've been seeing popping up on our website and our iTunes will be here in the palm of your hand. You may have heard the news that our alum, Zach Anner, donated $33,000 of his winnings from the Oprah Winfrey Network to us. We're super excited about this generous donation, and we hope to use it to improve our station and to go HD. We're also really proud of everything that Zach has done so quickly after graduating from here, and that he got his start here at TSTV. Speaking of alums, we've got a great one for you this month. It's Burnie Burns, the creator of the Halo-based web series Red vs. Blue, and his production company Roosterteeth. He got his start here at TSTV by creating Sneak Peek, which still airs today.
Hi, my name is Burnie Burns, and I was with TSTV from the years of 1993 to 1996 when I graduated from the University of Texas with a degree in computer science. Well, back when I discovered TSTV, I was a pre-med student who was transferring over to computer science because the internet was just getting big and not much transferred with it. And so I ended up taking things like organic chemistry as an elective when it was all said and done. I had a lot of spare time because I had to take only computer science courses that were left to graduate. So I always had an interest in film, and I went and audited a few RTF classes and thought, well, I'm not really gonna get what I need out of this. I'm not gonna get my hands on any equipment. So I just wandered down to TSTV, which at the time was in the basement of Hogg Auditorium. And within about 2 or 3 days, I was trained up on using the editors, the AB roll, and was producing my own content. So I started Sneak Peek back in, I think, 93, maybe 94. And I started it because it had one very simple goal, and that was I wanted to go see movies for free. And that was the idea behind it. And so I got together a couple of my friends, and we went and saw some movies and just set up some chairs and started making Sneak Peek. I'm particularly proud of the fact that if you go in the TSTV studio, there's that faux brick wall. I bought that from my budget in Sneak Peek. I think my budget was $80 in the first season. And now Sneak Peek, after I left, I didn't know this. They got in contact with me a few later that it just kept going. I passed it off to Tony Salinas. He produced it for a few years. He passed it off to somebody else. And before you know it, now it's the longest running student-produced show in the world. And that's pretty amazing. What's the crazy thing about it too is that after making that and then graduating, a few years later, I started Roosterteeth Productions. We started making Red vs. Blue. Red vs. Blue is now the longest running web series in the history of the internet. So I have a good track record so far with just unbelievable longevity. So after we finished the movie that we filmed at TSTV, which was called The Schedule, we entered the environment of independent filmmaking that existed back in the late 90s, which was you just got your film, you sent it out to as many film festivals as possible, and you basically went through the process of trying to convince people to let you show your work to other people. I mean, it's so strange to talk about it today. And we did that for a year. We did that for about as long as it took to make the movie. We were just trying to get it out there and get it into theaters where people could see it, whether it was film festivals or just, a wider release. Then one day, I was just goofing around with some buddies at a tech job that I had, and we filmed a dopey Apple TV parody ad, where it was one of those old Switch ads where a guy switches to Mac, and he's all happy about it. Well, this guy switched to Mac for the games, and he was, really upset about it. Just a funny little stupid video you make for the internet. But once I put the video online, Matt was working in LA at the time. He found the video within 24 hours, and he wasn't looking for it. Just he walked into somebody's office and he saw his friend up on the screen. He's like, how do you know these guys? And his coworker was like, I don't. I just had found this funny video online. So Matt called me and he said, wow, this video got to me in less than 24 hours. And I was like, yeah, I didn't have time to call you and tell you that I made this thing or tell you to look for it. And that was kind of a moment where we realized that all those barriers that we previously had experienced were just evaporating. And we thought, well, this is a unique point in history. We got to take advantage of it. And so it was probably 6 months after that that I started Red vs. Blue, started putting it online. My favorite episode of Sneak Peek that I worked on was the one where we got to interview Adam Sandler. And it was a little bit of a risk in the interview because I thought, this guy's a comedian. We never had anything like this before. He was a huge star. He'd just come off Saturday Night Live. And I thought, I might just mess with him a little bit and see what happens. And so I started to poke at him a little bit. And at first he took it in stride, but then he really got it, that we were kind of messing around a little bit. And then he came after me big time. And it was like, I was way out of my league, obviously, when it comes to improv comedy, but he was fantastic. And that was probably, but not just for moments at TSTV, one of the best moments of my career was just riffing with Adam Sandler, and I'm in a basement of my college TV station. It was great. Looking back on TSTV, I can honestly say that as somebody who owns a production house, that I work in film every day, and I'd like to think that I'm very successful at it. I would not have been able to do that if not for TSTV, because I was not a film student, I didn't have any background in production. Everything that I know today in terms of production, I started at TSTV. And if that resource had not existed, I honestly don't know what I'd be doing today. But I wouldn't be doing this.
Burnie isn't the only former TSTVer working at Roosterteeth. Many of their other employees also got their start here as well. If you picked up a copy of the Daily Texan recently, you may have noticed they've added a sidebar on the front page which showcases our episodes for that evening. We're really excited to collaborate with the Texan on this project. So that's about it for this month's update. VGHL is hosting their first tournament of the year on March 2nd at the local in Guadalupe, so keep an eye out on our website for the sign-up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.